Councillor Mike Layton here today as well. I know you're a veteran at this, so so nice to see you here, and I'm looking forward to your live auction talents. And I just want to thank Alan for all her incredible work here, and the artists that have contributed to this space here. And it is truly wonderful to have a space such as this in the riding that I'm representing, the riding of Davenport. And I believe that the centre was established in 1992, which was funded by the Ontario Ministry of Citizenship. That ministry is now known as the Ministry of Citizenship, Immigration and International Trade. So the ministry has grown, and I'm proud to be the parliamentary assistant to Minister Chan, who holds this portfolio. So a ministry that I'm very connected with, and I'm very passionate about being able to partake in the day-to-day of what goes on in that ministry. And I'm privileged to be attending the Straight from the Heart auction here today, and so glad to have this type of creative, compassionate, engaged type of organization based here in my riding. I was telling Ellen that, or someone else here, I believe, that we've got lots of these little neat spaces in Davenport, and it's always wonderful to discover them. So I'm glad I was able to discover this one here today. And the creation of these types of spaces, and I know that you've been here for some time, I really think speaks to the values that we have here in Davenport. We really care about each other, and we realize that as a society, we're in this together, and we should look out for one another. And those values are reflected by our government as well at Queen's Park. And I believe, and the Premier certainly believes, that the government can be a force for good in people's lives. Whether it's establishing an Ontario retirement pension plan or by looking out for the environment, we understand that citizens look to their government for leadership and help with issues that affect their lives. And as Ellen mentioned, and many of you know, the provincial government passed legislation a decade ago, in 2005, to ensure that Ontarians living with disabilities have access to all the services delivered by government and the broader public sector, as well as the private sector. And in that piece of legislation, we are committed to making Ontario accessible by 2025. And the province also has accessibility standards in 5 areas. So customer service, employment, information and communications, transportation, and the design of public spaces. I know that when I was looking for a new constituency office, I made sure that we had a bathroom that was accessible, that we did not have to go down the stairs. So I'm proud to say that I've got 2 accessible bathrooms on my main floor, and we opened up one of them, making it larger so you can actually have fun with your wheelchair in the bathroom because it's that large. And it's heartening to see the progress we've made so far, because accessibility really is a right that all Ontarians should enjoy, and our government will continue to make sure that it's treated that way. Everyone, regardless of physical or mental abilities, deserve to participate fully in the mainstream life across the province. And your elected officials are here to ensure that we remove those barriers that are preventing full participation, and whether that's at the provincial level and at the municipal level. I know that we're all looking towards that. And before I finish, I just want to make sure, Ellen, that I invite the talented artists to showcase their art in my office. My constituency office, which is located on Bloor and Dufferin. We have a wall that is being dedicated to local artists, regardless of the type of artwork that you have. Right now it's a wall, so it makes it easier to be artwork that does go up. So Ellen, I invite you to have some of your artists be able to showcase their art in my space as well. So I look forward to a very lively and engaging afternoon here, and a great success on your auction. I look forward to being here again.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And if any of you have any questions, will you be here for a little bit longer?
I'm going to be here. Yes,
Okay.
for sure. I wouldn't miss this.
Okay, that is really super. Thank you so much.
And I'm just going to present this. I know you've got a wall of fame over there. You can put this up as well.
Thank you.
Just congratulating Creative Spirit Art on the occasion of the Straight from the Heart annual fundraising art auction. And remembering that in 2005, Ontario enacted the Accessibilities for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, which recognizes access for people living with disabilities to services delivered by government, corporations, the public sector, and retail services. The province of Ontario and the riding of Davenport are proud to have such a dynamic and engaged community, and generosity makes our province stronger, and organizations such as Creative Spirit Art Center play a significant role in promoting healthy and happy living for people with disabilities.
Oh, thank you. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
that. And now I would like to introduce you to our other wonderful political celebrity guest who has been our auctioneer before.
4 years now.
4 years, and Mike has been representing us at City Council. I'm on the BIA, I'm the chair of it, and Mike has been really super advocating for the needs of the businesses here. And he is a regular on, at the meetings, and he's just really super. He invites people to his own home where he actually prepares and serves the food. So he's really great. He and his wife are just a wonderful couple, and they're really committed to doing good community work. They are. He's really, really super. So the thing is, we only have 2 items to auction off for the live auction. The rest will go back, like people can bid for the silent auction. So one of them is the Hanni Sager doll, and the other one is a book by Gabe Anderson. We got this at the last minute, and Gail made a lot of illustrations that are a social commentary. They've been published in the Globe and all sorts of Canadian magazines, and she did this just at the last minute as a goodwill gesture. So I'm going to let Mike auction this off, and I've asked if he can start it off at $5, which is like very
Before I start off the auction though, I want to tell everyone a little story. Back in 1884, the village of Dovercourt, before it was absorbed by the city of Toronto, it was overlooked by a farm just over here on the hill. And on that farm lived a hen and a pig. And one day that hen and the pig came down into Dovercourt village, and they looked on the door of the local town hall. I can't remember which building it was. It could have been this building. They looked at the door of the town hall, and there was a sign that says, "Give to your community." And the hen and the pig looked at each other, and they said, we don't have any money. What can we give? And the hen looked at the pig and said, "I have an idea. Why don't we give bacon and eggs?" And as the pig was thinking about this for a second, he said, "Wait a second, for you that's just a contribution. For me, that's a full commitment." And that's what we want to get from you today. Regardless of what you're purchasing, don't think about it as just an investment in beautiful art. Don't think about it about something pretty that can hang on your wall. Think about it as your full commitment to Creative Spirit to continue on the great work that they do. And for the live auction, think of it as also charity to your local counselor, in that it makes it much more entertaining if we actually have bids. Because me saying one number over and over again is going to get pretty boring for me, and it's frankly going to get very boring very quickly for all of you. So I'm told that I can start this Gabe Anderson book off at $5. Now, as I look through it, and there's a good recap of it online, but Gabe Anderson was a social commentator through many years, wrote for or illustrated for many of Toronto's periodicals, so daily newspapers and magazines. It is a couple years old now, so there are no references to the Rob Ford administration, which for social commentary purposes is actually a unique window in time of the city of Toronto, and I'm sure will have volumes in and of itself. So let's start the bid on the Gabe Anderson off at $5. Do I have $5? Can someone give me $5? Willing to bid $5. $5, I got 5, willing to bid 10. 5 willing to bid 10. I got 10 right there. 10 willing to bid 15. Willing to bid 15, 20. I've got 15 willing to bid 20. 15, 20 right there. 20 willing to bid 25. 20 willing to bid 25. Anyone for 25? I've got 20 willing to bid 25. 20 willing to bid 25. 25. 25 willing to bid 30. 25 30. 30 willing to bid 35. 30 willing to bid 35. Anyone willing to bid 35? 35. 35. 35 willing to bid 40. 35 willing to bid 40. 40. 45 willing to bid 50. 50. 40 willing to bid 50, 50, 50 willing to bid 60. Anyone willing to bid 60, 60, 60 willing to bid 70. Willing to bid 70, I got 60 willing to bid 70, 60 willing to bid 70, $70. There's at least 70. I've got, let's see how many pages first. It's 174 pages of illustrations. They only have an illustration on half the page, so that's at least 80 illustrations for $60. I've got $60. Anyone willing to bid 70? 60 willing to bid 70. Anyone for 70? 60 going once. 60 going twice. Sold for $60. All right. That before.
Yes.
And I'm going to freely admit, which politicians don't often do, I know nothing about this next piece. So I'm going to look for a little bit of help in the description of the piece, if I could, and any information about the artist that will...
Reach it.
Oh, I can help you out with that.
Okay. So the doll is made by Hanni Sager, who is an artist who has helped us greatly, and she collected dolls and toys, and she started toy workshops in Oaxaca for disabled orphans, and then she makes her own art dolls. And if you lift the front of it up, there's a little face underneath it, and the mask is from Oaxaca. And Hanni is living down there now because she wears 3 sets of body braces. She could never go out in the winter here because the body braces are made of metal and leather, and with the cold, the metal just would conduct the horrible frigid temperatures we've been having. So she has created a home down in Mexico, and the Mexican government and the Canadian government gave her all sorts of medals for creating 3 toy shops in and around Oaxaca for disabled orphans, and creating a workshop where the kids could make toys, which actually generated money for them. And when the toys were selling, the kids discovered they could make money. They said to themselves, "Ooh, I wonder how much money I'm making, and I would like to keep track of this." So they became very enthusiastic about learning how to read and write and do math. And 15 years later, 2 of those people who actually decided that toy making led to reading and writing graduated from community colleges. So Hanni, just through the making of toys, has been able to change the lives of people who would have just been left to do nothing. And we really believe that everyone should be able to do something, and that making art and toys is a wonderful thing to do, and that other people can appreciate it. So we hope that you appreciate Hanni's doll, and that we'd love for you to start bidding on it. It's an art doll, it's unique, and all the bits are from Oaxaca, and it was made in Oaxaca, and it came and shipped to us from Oaxaca. So there you go, and I'll hand it over to Mike, because he's really good at this. I'm not.
This doll may have come from a place that you prefer to be right now, because so this doll too has spiritual power to make you feel like you're in that weather at the moment. Just carrying it around the room just gave me that feeling. I may have got a bit of a tan. You know, it made me feel rejuvenated and a zest for life. So why don't we start the bidding at $20? Is there anyone for $20? I have $20 right here. Anyone for 30? Any bids for 30 for the doll? 30, 35, can I see 35? Willing to bid 35, 35 willing to bid 40. I have 35 willing to bid 40, 40 willing to bid 50. 50, 50 willing to bid 60. Anyone for 60? I have 50 willing to bid 60, 60 willing to bid 70, 70 willing to bid 80. Anyone for 80? I have 7 willing to bid 80. There's a rule that says that when there's multiple bidders, we should be running it back and forth in between the bids. I have 60, I have 60,
Oh, you dropped that up, down, up.
7 willing to bid, no, 60 willing to bid 70. Anyone willing to bid 70? I have 60 willing to bid 70, 70 willing to bid 80. Anyone for 80? 80 willing to bid 90. Willing to bid 90? I have 80 willing to bid 90. Willing to bid 90? I have 80 willing to bid 90. Anyone for 90? We're just getting that number, 80 willing to bid 90. 80 going once. 80 going 90. 90 willing to bid 100. $100. Let's give a round of applause for 100. All right. 100 willing to bid 110. Willing to bid 110. I have 100 willing to bid 110. 100 willing to bid 110. 100 willing to bid 110. 100 going once. 100 going twice. Sold.